Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. We're once again talking about the Bad Batch Season 3. We're just a couple of days away now from Episode 4, and over the last 24 hours from various cast and crew, we've had some big teasers for what's to come. So I should warn you, there might be possible spoilers ahead. Nothing concrete though, so don't worry, most of this is mere inference and speculation. We're then going to talk about some more theories, and it's going to be a great time. Before we dive into it though, I just want to take a second to say, if you've not done so, please be sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below, and why not hit the bell to be alerted every time that I post a new video. Really trying to grow the channel in 2024, I would love to have you on board. But no more jibber jabber, let's begin. Joel Aaron, who is the director of cinematography and lighting VFX on The Bad Batch, Clone Wars Rebels, responded to a fan who wondered, what is in the tanks on Tantis? The specimens being tested for MCAL replication. What was Palpatine looking at? What secrets lie therein? In other words, was Palpatine also testing on some other Force users we might know? Now, while Joel didn't answer the question, he did say this. Did you notice as the shot was tilting down, there was something moving and including light? In the background of the far wall, there does appear to be a moving giant shadow, which to my estimation, and I rewatched this like 15 times, it kind of looks like the Zillo Beast, which we saw in the second season. And this of course was part of the creature cloning projects that Palpatine was also invested in, but as he told Dr. Hemlock, the creature projects are not as important to him as Project Necromancer. That takes priority, but I do suppose this demonstrates we're going to see numerous projects going on at the facility. I think Project Necromancer is the main one, but we might also get a glimpse at some of the other horrors that Palpatine was cooking up. Also on Twitter, Joel Aaron said, in response to a fan tweet about the Clone Wars episode Massacre, that this is a good year for fans to watch it, the one where Grievous wipes out the Night Sisters on Dathomir. Now this, in my opinion, is a very clear allusion to Asajj Ventress, her return, and the events that take place at the end of Dark Disciple, which the Bad Batch promises is not going to retcon. At the end of the book, Quinlan Vos and Obi-Wan Kenobi bury the body of Asajj Ventress on her home world. Is he teasing she was literally resurrected? Again, a pretty massive hint for what's to come. Another major thing that took place yesterday is there was a Clone Wars panel at Pensacon 2024, and the voice actress for Barriss Offee, Meredith Salinger, spoke about the fate of her character. Fans have wanted to know for years. After she turned to the dark side, after she fought Anakin, what happened next? She was arrested and faced trial. But when the Empire rose, I think she escaped prison. And this is where it gets interesting. Because where did she go? Why haven't we come across her in some other projects yet? What does Dave Filoni, and by extension Jennifer Corbett and Brad Rao, have in store for the character? Well, the voice actress answered this. While echoing something Dave Filoni said, she said no, she didn't even die in Order 66. And quote, there is more to come. She went on to say, oops, I shouldn't have said that. There were rumours prior to the Ahsoka show that Barriss Offee was going to appear in that, but lo and behold, Dave Filoni has other plans for her. Given the fact the voice actress is saying this, I wouldn't be surprised if she makes an appearance in Tales of the Jedi Season 2, or maybe before the end of the Bad Batch Season 3. What was her trajectory, her journey, how far did she make it? My headcanon is that if she survived Order 66, she may have formed a brief alliance with Baylan Skoll, someone who took a dark Jedi path, realised the corruption of the Republic, what the Jedi Order had become, and started anew. As a different kind of Force user, not necessarily Sith, not dark side, I want to know. And the reason this connects to Asajj Ventress is because in the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer, her lightsaber resembles the ones Barriss stole from her, and not the one she had in Dark Disciple. A lot of curious events, interesting comments. I think the season is going to be pretty brutal, but also fascinating with its various connections. And speaking of those, we've spoken a lot about Project Necromancer, and you're probably saying, Meg, we've had it up to here with Project Necromancer and Palpatine's cloning, all the theories and speculation. But just one final point. There is this assumption going round that the Bad Batch Season 3 is going to give us Snoke, literally Snoke, the earliest form of Snoke. And I'm here to tell you, that's not going to happen. They are of course laying the framework for what will lead to everything in The Rise of Skywalker, but there is proof we're not going to see Snoke himself. After rewatching the Bad Batch Season 3 premiere for the umpteenth time, I went back and watched The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7, The Spies. And during the Shadow Council scene, decades after Bad Batch, Commandant Hux, who is in charge of Project Necromancer, answers Gideon's question about the need for new leadership, and he says he's working on it and how his project is going to provide that. So even by the time of Mando Season 3, Snoke has not been made. It's been a long process, decades long, to get it right. So I don't think in the Bad Batch that is where we're leading. They're probably going to show us some early specimens, other prototypes, but don't expect Snoke. But it is pretty incredible how the various projects tie in so seamlessly. And I've noticed when it comes to Imperials this earlier in the timeline like Hemlock, or further down the timeline with the Shadow Council, Imperials were so delusional. I was thinking about the warlord that Jodie Long plays, and her character said, there are citizens in every sector who are dying for the Empire's return, dying for the return of Palpatine, even as a clone, and dying for the sense of order that Pelion and Gideon believed in. They think they're the good guys. There seems to be this cultish belief that without Palpatine, without that leadership, without the Sith, at the head of the Empire, the galaxy is hopeless. And it all stems from Palpatine's narcissism, his arrogance, his singular vision for individual power. His propaganda and his lies had such a widespread impact. And so funny, my dear friends. Did you know there is a big connection between ANDOR Season 1 and the 3rd season of The Bad Batch, musically speaking? This was pointed out to me by my good friend Dave Tree from All the Cool Stuff. Some of the hang drum motif from Claire's theme from ANDOR is repeated in Episode 1 of The Bad Batch's 3rd season, Confined. It's very clearly inspired by Nicholas Britell's piece, and I'm not too sure what this means. There is no immediate connection between the character of Claire and Omega and the two shows in that capacity. It could just be a coincidence, but some of the theme is absolutely present, and some of the Kyner's work in The Bad Batch seems somewhat derivative of that theme, which I think is excellent. I really enjoyed it, but it could also show the more mature and well-paced approach Season 3 takes. Just like the first season of the Tony Gilroy show, it feels like Star Wars television, much more than the first 2 seasons. They're all very different, but as I say, Episode 4 is in just a couple of days' time, and we will be doing a full preview of that episode, so make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned. But that said, my dear friends, share your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.